These are pictures and little video clips from 2 different trips we made to Newport, Rhode Island, my favorite place in America. They're not in any specific order, but you'll see my daughter right there, Jasmine, and my son, Desmond. I mean, Newport is one giant beach, isn't it? It was so fun seeing my kids play together, and that's them behind one of the mansions, and that's the cafe at the Breakers, which we love. And I think that was Second Beach. Yeah, we only made it to Second Beach, but it was so beautiful. So my dream would be to move back to Newport. That's for sure. That's Jasmine and Desmond hanging out on Cliff Walk. So if you ever go to Newport, be sure to go to Cliff Walk. And it runs along the ocean, and you can gawk at the mansions through the fence. Got to take a mansion tour. There's lots of them. If you ever wanted to feel poor, Newport's the place to go. I used to live there a few different times growing up because my dad was in the Navy. So going back to Newport is like going home. I love it. And that's Jasmine and I posing. I think it's behind the Elm mansion, the Elms.
Or video.
And there's Desmond, who paid 25 cents to look through that thing. And like I said, these are from September 2021. I went with Brandon, my very close friend, Brandon and Desmond. We drove there, and Desmond drove us up the wall, okay? But that's what 9-year-old boys do. I guess he was 9 in 2021. But love him dearly, but he's very, very much work. That's how boys are. You must know that. There's Brandon. He's like a family friend. Can't explain how much he helps us. And that's my favorite ice cream place, the Newport Creamery. And there we have the arcade. And when I was 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, my dad worked part-time at that arcade. That's behind the Breakers there. Oh, those are my 2 friends, Carol and Cindy. I met them in the 7th and 8th grade.
Okay, so this is my pet fish, the animated Spirit of Halloween animated pet fish. So there is one here, this is the fish, one here, and one here. So this is a water fountain, and there is a contraption in here, and it's a loop-de-loop, so when the water goes down here.
Desmond is a little chatterbox, that's for sure. That's downtown Newport at night. So safe, clean, and beautiful. I love it so much. And that's a picture of Brandon when we went out to karaoke. One night of karaoke.
Higher than those kids. Hiya!
Come on, kids. Go higher. That's our friend Richard Murphy. He's an avid fisherman. I've known him since I'm 13. He's always hanging out down there on the wharf. The boats are so beautiful. That's Desmond and I in the cafe of the Breakers, goofing around. And then have a nice long walk on the grounds of the mansion. That's the thing. If you pay to see the inside of the mansions, you can spend as much time as you like on the grounds too. It's so beautiful and clean and peaceful. I love it there. Maybe someday I'm going to move back to Newport. You never know. It's very expensive and freezing in the winter, but every place has their pros and cons, don't they? I still know a lot of people in Newport. And everywhere you go, you hear classic rock. And some of the best years of my youth were spent in Newport, that's for sure. I just loved it. It was so great. And Of course, it was before the internet, so people had to make an effort to get to know each other. We'll be going back again, for sure. I just made this video so my kids can look back on it when they grow up and say, oh wow, I remember that. A lovely trip or two. So when I get free time, yeah, I drive to Newport. And we all hung around the hammocks on the campus of Salve Regina College. And when I was 11, I had a big sister in the Big Sister, Big Brother program at this same exact university. So it was really cool to be there hanging around again. So relaxing. Another thing I love about Newport, you can walk everywhere. You don't need a car. And there's so many restaurants to choose from. Oh, there's Desmond in the back of one of the dozens of mansions. Don't ask me which one, I don't know. And sniffing the flowers. All of the gardening and landscaping is to die for. There's Desmond and Jasmine posing in front of one of the fountains at one of the mansions. And then back again at that arcade. The one my dad worked at part-time. He was in the Navy in the daytime, and at night and on weekends he was working part-time at this arcade, which made me very popular amongst my peers at school because I always had a big pocket full of tokens. I didn't need quarters. My dad gave me tokens. I can't believe the arcade is actually still there. It was like a moth to flame for Desmond. And there's the Newport sign, which we had to stop and pose next to, of course. And Desmond and Jasmine posing in front of our hotel at the Hammett and at the back of the Hammett Hotel. Highly recommend. It's right in the thick of it all. Yeah, see the bitchy face? Desmond had a little sourpuss face on. There is our friend Richard Murphy again with his big fish. And there's Desmond enjoying some ice cream again at night. On the wall, that wall separates Fame Street, America's Cup. And I used to sit on that wall as a youngster with all the other cool kids across from the arcade right there. I love that place so much. I simply must live there again. I think I left my heart in Newport. So yeah, this is in back of another one of the mansions. Honestly, I can't even remember which one this is. It must be in the back of the elms. But we explored every little nook and cranny. Unfortunately, nobody lives in these places anymore. It would be interesting, but they make their money off of tourism. And it's a must-see. There's Desmond goofing around pretending to piss on a fire hydrant. Silly boy. There he is smelling some flowers in front of the breakers. And that's also in back of the breakers. Had a little rest. And there we are again on Cliff Walk. Behind the breakers. This was the first trip in 2022. With Brandon, with me, Brandon, and Desmond, we drove there. That's the back of the breakers. They filmed The Great Gatsby there, by the way. I'm sure you know that, but if not, there's some trivia for you. This is my favorite place in America. I love Newport. Too bad I don't like seafood, But you can manage if you don't like seafood. There's plenty of other stuff to eat.